Nightmarish scenes from the Australian wildfires last year. An area over half the size of England destroyed. But this face of the climate crisis isn't measured just in lives and land lost to the flames, but in the planet-heating carbon released as vegetation burns. At the time, scientists warned that the emissions from this historic blaze were more than the emissions of 100 nations combined. Now, new research has found that it was double that.
It's absolutely massive, absolutely. Particularly the fires in Australia were so unusual. They burned such a large area of forest, unprecedented really in recorded history. It's important to know how much carbon has been released, but it's also very important to understand what happens next.
We'll go this way then.
Stefan and fellow scientists from universities all over the UK are at the site of the Whereum fire in Dorset.
All bent that way.
Last May, more than 500 acres of forest caught fire here. Diverse ecosystems condemned by disposable barbecues, as flames consumed protected heathland and rare sand lizards. Last year, this area was a black and charred landscape. But what's happening here now is actually rich pickings for scientists. And understanding wildfires is really important because as areas like these burn, if they permanently release carbon back into the atmosphere, that can actually drive further climate change, which leads to more fires. It's something scientists ominously refer to as a feedback loop. But the exact impact is still an open question. Today's research published in Nature found that over 700 million tonnes of carbon dioxide was released in just 3 months in the Australian fires. That's more CO2 than Germany emits in an entire year.
What really made us worry is the huge amount of carbon dioxide that was emitted in a very short time window. It is very well possible that we also underestimate fires elsewhere. To what extent, we do not know at this point.
Here we have zero, no charring.
The key question for scientists everywhere is how much of these greenhouse gases are reabsorbed.
Slow down a bit.
As scorched land regenerates, sucking the carbon back in.
The bigger question really is how quickly will this be taken up again by the vegetation, and in this case it's likely to be relatively slow because some of the forest that is burned there is recovering very slowly.
So the fire actually started that way down the slope.
Claire studies wildfires after the flames have subsided.
You can see that there's kind of this grey line.
Trying to better understand how different ecosystems burn, how quickly and how severely.
There's been recent predictions for wildfires in the UK where there will be potentially up to 50% of summer days in the UK having a very high fire risk, and that compares to like 10% of summer days today.
As the spectre of wildfires looms large over a climate emergency, research right now is challenging our assumptions about their lingering effect. In Dorset, the trees are scarred but still live. Within years, new growth helps replace the carbon dioxide otherwise lost. But in huge apocalyptic burns like in Australia, California and Greece, where forests are destroyed, their ability to store carbon is set back by decades. Scientists say that's time we just don't have.